And Dembele has won the 2025 Ballon d'Or over Lamine Yamal in what was a very intense Ballon d'Or ceremony. I'm not going to lie, this is probably the closest Ballon d'Or ceremony I've seen since I started watching football. It's very, very tough to judge. But let me know in the comment section, as always, boys, what did you think of the Ballon d'Or? Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video, share it, turn on notifications. I'm going to be so active on this YouTube channel. I promise you, boys. But look, we'll start on the winner, Ousmane Dembele. Did he deserve it? For me, if either of them won, I wouldn't have complained. Dembele had 51 goal contributions, won the treble last season, was a vital part in that. Not the be-all and end-all factor, but still a very integral part of what was a great PSG team that went on to win everything pretty much and had a great, successful season, the most successful season in PSG's club history. But look, I don't think Dembele is the best player in the world. I'm sorry, boys. This might sound ridiculous to say. I don't even think Dembele is the best player in that PSG team. I believe Kvaratskhelia is the better forward. I believe he's the more refined forward. But and I think that PSG team was elevated when Kvaratskhelia joined in January. I think that was a changing point. Without Kvaratskhelia, I don't think they would have won the Champions League. And Dembele really started to kick on in the second half of the season. Yes, Dembele is a phenomenal footballer. And yes, I really appreciate how much he's grown and developed as a player from that young, bright talent that we saw at Dortmund. Suffered so many injuries at Barcelona and now has become on paper the best player in the world. And I think he had a great season and could easily be considered the best player in the world. But when I watch Lamine Yamal play football, I'm just like, it's night and day. It's not even a debate for me. But the problem is the Ballon d'Or isn't given to the best player in the world. Or otherwise, Messi would have won like 13 in a row. It's given to the player that was arguably the best player in the team that had the most success, which is often the case, and fair play to the Ballon d'Or. They've actually kept that narrative because PSG had a more successful season on paper than Barcelona. But yeah, for me, Lamine Yamal is the best player in the world. His numbers weren't like a Dembele or a Rafinha even, but watching Lamine, he's something special, man. He provokes some specific emotion that football fans, you can't really describe, you know. Big games in El Clasico's, the Super Copa final, the Champions League ties against Inter, the main reason why Inter suffered for 180 or even more minutes because it went to extra time the second leg. But yeah, to be honest, it was a really close Ballon d'Or. I won't say it's a robbery at all. I think on paper, Dembele actually had more of a case to win it than Lamine Yamal. But for me, the best player in the world is Lamine Yamal. And France football's Ballon d'Or is supposed to be for the best player in the world. But it rarely is. My biggest issue comes with the ranking. And we have to look at this ranking. I got it on screen. I'll put it on the screen on the YouTube video. Elise 30th. Way too low. Wirtz 29th. Van Dijk 28th. The best centre-half of his generation. You could make the case, this might sound ridiculous to say, but Van Dijk now is better than Van Dijk in 2019 when he placed second in the Ballon d'Or. Yes, that season he won the Champions League. Yes, there was that crazy stat where he wasn't dribbled past once. But I believe this Van Dijk has matured so much as a defender, is so much more important in that leader role, is so much more important in really holding that Liverpool backline together, that it's not ridiculous to say this present day Van Dijk is better than 2019 Van Dijk, and they've placed him 28th. But Van Dijk is easily the best centre half in the world, the best defender in the world. How is he not getting top 15? I look at the names above him. Dumfries. Are you being serious? Guirassy, McAllister. Come on. Van Dijk's easily top 2 players in that Liverpool team with Mo Salah, who was placed in a very generous position as well. Rice 27th. Rice over Van Dijk, seriously? Haaland 26th. Bit low, but I get he was injured last season, but still, his goal tally was ridiculous. Isak's not even top 30, by the way. Yildiz isn't top 30, who I would have made a case for, if I'm being honest. Fabian Ruiz 24th. Great season. I think that's a bit low as well. 23rd Jude, 22nd McAllister. Over them two? I don't know. Guirassy 21st. 20th Lautaro Martinez. Come on, man. Be serious. How is Lautaro every single year so high? João Neves 19, too low. McTominay 18th is fair enough. Lewandowski 17th. Vinny 16th. He was supposed to go 10 times harder this season. He placed 8 times worse. I mean, I don't mean any disrespect to Vinny. I think he's a quality player. But to have Vinny over Elise, over Van Dijk, over some of these names that I've read out, it's ludicrous. It's insanity. It's not fair. This ranking, it doesn't make sense. Gyökeres 15th. Even him, like, he scored all his goals in the Portuguese league. Yeah, he won the, whatever it's called, the Gerd Müller trophy. 15th. He's the 15th best player in the world. No way, bro. He's not better than Lewandowski as a striker. He's not better than Haaland. He's not better than Isak, who didn't even place top 30, which is insane. Doué 14th. 13th Kane. I mean, come on. 13th Kane. One of the best strikers. Easily top 2 in the world. Goal scoring prowess. Proven bagsman. Turns up in the big games of the Champions League. Led the lines for Bayern Munich last season. Kvaratskhelia 12th. How is he not top 10? The worst is Pedri 11th. It gets to the point where I think the voters, they don't watch football with their eyes. Now, a certain other midfielder that plays for PSG that won the treble, granted, placed 3rd. 8 positions difference between Vitinha and Pedri, yet Pedri is 800 times the player Vitinha is. And I'm not exaggerating. Pedri is the best midfielder on planet Earth. And there's not a close second. The gap between Pedri and second, who for me is Jude, is a big jump. All you have to do is watch Pedri to appreciate him. He's the best tempo dictator in the world. He's got the best vision and reading of the game from midfielder in the world. His final pass is elite. He's improved so much in the goal scoring side of the game as well. He has everything you need. He can play the 6. He can play the 8. He can even play the advanced 8. He can play anywhere. I've not seen a midfielder so complete in all 3 parts of the football pitch since Xavi. But at the same time, you can't really compare him to Xavi because he has traits of Iniesta and Xavi. Now, this sounds like ultimate glaze. It does. But it's the truth. He has parts of Xavi in terms of the tempo setting side of things and part of Iniesta's game in terms of the feet, in terms of the magical moments, in terms of the aesthetic on the eye. 11th is insane. I mean, I easily top 6. I mean, comfortably, even top 5. 11th. It's insane. Then we look at the top 10. I mean, it gets to the point where half these players here are in there for the team they played for. Noon Mensch, great left back. Best in the world last season. Top 10 player in the world? No, of course not. Top 20, fair. But he's closer to 20 than he should be to 10. Donnarumma 9th. Best keeper in the world, I get. I struggle to put keepers in top 10 players in the world because it's so hard to compare a keeper to an attacker. I always think attackers are more favourable. But, okay, fine. Cole Palmer 8th. I love Palmer. I think he's quality. I think he's one of the best footballers in the world. I really do. But to have him 8th over a Pedri, over some of the names I read out, bro. Over Doué last season, Kvaratskhelia last season. Even Van Dijk. He wasn't the best player. This is saying that Palmer was the second best player in the Premier League last season. No, he wasn't. Come on, boys. Palmer's had a much better season the season before. And he didn't even sniff top 10 Ballon d'Or. 8th is way too high. 7th, Kylian. Fair enough. European Golden Boot. Top scorer in La Liga. Had a bit of a slow start for his standards, but picked up massively. But you have Hakimi ahead of him. Even Hakimi wouldn't say he's better than Kylian Mbappe. Again, Hakimi, the best right back in the world last season. But how can you have a right back 6th? It doesn't make sense. Then here is where... Here we have to talk. Here we have to claim robbery. Here we have to claim no ball knowledge. Rafinha in 5th. Oh, look, man. If Rafinha won the Ballon d'Or, I would be upset. And I would say it's a disgrace. Because I don't think he's a worthy Ballon d'Or winner. I don't. I as good as his numbers were, and I understand he was La Liga player of the season, vital in Barcelona winning the league, UCL top scorer, UCL top assister, I get that. But Rafinha's not the best player in the world. He can't win the Ballon d'Or for me over a Dembele or a Lamine Yamal or even a Pedri. All right, I think Pedri's much better in his position. But for what he achieved last season, to not put him on the podium in top 3, minimum 4th, but top 3 for me, it's a disgrace. You have Vitinha in 3rd. He had a great season, Vitinha. He's a great midfielder, 100%. No, I'm not denying that. He's not the best midfielder in the world. He's not close to that, in my opinion. But 2 places above Rafinha, after everything he achieved last season, is disrespectful. It's completely disrespectful. Salah 4th, I think is a bit high. I think Salah top 5 for what he did. He swept the individual awards in the Premier League. Wasn't great in the Champions League for Liverpool, but okay. And then Vitinha 3rd. I already spoke about it. He's there for PR. He's there because of what he won club-wise. Look, all these players are Hakimi, Mendes, Donnarumma. They're all top 10 because of what they achieved, not because they're actually top 10 footballers in the world. I look at the top 30 and I think the ranking every year, there's questionable things. But this year, the top 30, there's much more they got wrong than right, in my opinion, which is worrying. I got to pull up as well the Kopa Awards because I just don't understand the ranking as well. The ranking was insane. Now, first of all, Lamine Yamal won it back to back. What? Why? Why is Lamine allowed to win it back to back? Lamine Yamal is by far and away the best young player in the world. 100%. And I believe you can win it up to the age of 21, the Kopa Trophy. Meaning Lamine will win it for the next 3 odd years in a row, you're telling me. Because Lamine is by far and away the best young player in the world. But he's also the best footballer in the world. They can't interlink. It's not fair on all the other great young players that should be able to win this. The ranking is Lamine first, Doué second for the season he had, I get. João Neves third again for the season he had, fine. Esteval fourth, Kenan 5, Dean 6, Kobasi 7, Mora 8, Bouadidi 9, and Miles Lewis Skelly 10th. The fact that Esteval is above Kenan it's ludicrous, it's ridiculous. He played in the Brazilian league. Yes, I understand his numbers were excellent. And yes, I understand Neymar once placed top 10 in the Ballon d'Or. But Neymar and Esteval, not the same level. What Kenan did last season for Juventus, 20 plus goal contributions in his debut season with the number 10 for a massive club, dragging them, being the best player in the world. And then you see his development this season. To not even have him fourth is scandalous. I mean, I do believe that Kenan is the best young player in the world, removing Lamine Yamal. I think he's better than Doué. I think he's a much more refined attack. I think he's got more to his game. I think Doué, aesthetically, I get why people find him more appealing. He's sort of got that Neymar aura tax thing in terms of the touch, the flair, the skills, the trickery. I get that. But I think you could argue Kenan is the more effective dribbler. I think Kenan has the better shot. I think he has the better final pass. I think he's got better decision making in the final third. I think he's more two-footed than Doué. I just think he has more to his game. He can play in more positions than Doué in the final third. But from Doué's perspective, after everything he did last season, I think it's harsh that Lamine's allowed to win it twice in a row and Doué doesn't take home the trophy. I'm not saying Kenan should have won it. Of course, I would have loved him to win it. But what Doué did last season, a brace in the Champions League final as well, the way he stepped up in the big moments, it's harsh, bro. And like I said, the Kopa Trophy will be won every single season by Lamine Yamal. Even though Lamine Yamal will also be competing for the Ballon d'Or every single season. And likewise, bro, if Kenan next season has an all-timer season, I expect him to be in the ranking for the Ballon d'Or and not the Kopa Trophy. Do you understand? To make it fair. But it's not like other young awards where you can only win it once. Overall, the Ballon d'Or, has it lost its credibility? Ronaldo poses this question every single year. We always talk about it. It's just subjective, bro. At the end of the day, it's journalists voting for who they believe is the best footballer in the world. And they all have different motives. I view football differently than you watching it, boys. Every single one of us views football in a different way. It's subjective, as I said. It's all personal opinion. It depends how you view the football game. Some people, for example, there would be some journalists that had Pedri as number 1. There'd be some that had Lamine as 1, Rafinha as 1. Everyone sends in a list differently. And the points are tallied up, sorry. So I get why people might say, it's a robbery. Ballon d'Or's lost its credibility. But at the end of the day, it's just opinion-based. And France football, I mean, Frenchman winning it, I get it. It makes sense. But I do think Dembele is a noble, worthy winner of the Ballon d'Or. I don't think that's a robbery at all. I think the ranking is horrible. As I said, I went through all of it. From Elise to at 30th, from Pedri to 11th, Vitinha at 3rd, Rafinha at 5th. I mean, come on, man. Where do they do this ranking? It's insane. The other one, Best Keeper Award, was fair. Donnarumma, Enrique winning Best Coach, PSG winning Best Club. But yeah, congratulations to Dembele. He is a worthy winner, I believe. I do think it's a long day for every other footballer in the next 5 to 10 years because I do see Lamine Yamal sweeping all these awards alongside Kylian Mbappe defending on which club is more successful. But for me, Mbappe and Lamine are the 2 best players in the world by a distance, and nobody can tell me otherwise. But Dembele had a great season. Fair play to him. Let me know in the comment section, as always, boys. What did you make of the Ballon d'Or ceremony? Was it a dub? Was it a L? Which one was the biggest robbery? And I have a feeling there'll be quite a few answers. There are a few answers. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one.